Ojaja University in Ilorin, Nigeria. I'm making a presentation titled Empathy as a Bridge or Barrier in Online Abortion Debates, a case study of Nigeria. Nigeria is a very unique country with its own distinct socio-cultural context. Nigeria is a very religious country and highly moralistic. Yeah, they believe in a lot of, in having a high moral standard. The culture of the people is against abortion, but legally abortion is also not permitted except to save the life of the mother. Now, this is a crisis situation that we found ourselves in Nigeria. There is this general campaign for abortion in the world, the reproductive rights of the woman, but the culture in Nigeria and the law in Nigeria is not really supportive. So feminists have taken up the advocacy for abortion in all digital platforms, on the social media, on the internet, the website. You see a lot of campaign going on for the female reproductive rights, especially on abortion. So now, when we talk about empathy in this public discourse, what are we talking about? Empathy is you identifying with someone either on cognition level or emotional level. That is trying to identify with what someone is feeling or what the person is thinking. So it's a communication tool. It's a communication tool. There can be general empathy and there can be selective empathy. And in this case of the abortion debate, when you have the general empathy, when you empathize with somebody on the general level, without being selective, then you are building a bridge to reach the person in communication. But by the time you as a person begin to do selective empathy, based on the relationship or the experience of that person, then you have making empathy become a barrier. So today we are talking about empathy being a bridge or a barrier in the abortion discourse, especially in Nigeria. So it is a very dicey situation that we have found ourselves in the country. So now, when we talk about digital advocacy and emotional persuasion, there are so many digital platforms that is used for public debate now. And Nigerian women are lending their voices on this platform, these echo chambers that make people know about the situation. There is a kind of polarization in the abortion debate, the pro-life and the pro-choice, and both parties are using they are making use of digital advocacy, and they are really doing a lot of emotional persuasion. This is where empathy comes in. They make appeal to the emotion of the woman, the pro-life empathizing with the unborn child, while the pro-choice, they're empathizing with the woman. And so there is this dual role of emotional persuasion by both sides. So in this research that we are reporting today, how did we go about it? We are using multimodal discourse analysis to examine empathy in online abortion discourse in Nigeria. And we are analyzing it using the two polar sides, the pro-life and the pro-choice, and the platform from which we are getting our data from is the social media. We got it from X and from Facebook. So, campaign materials of books, advocacy groups, different advocacy groups, were gotten and were analyzed using multimodal discourse and analysis. We realized that to empathize with the woman, there is the use of different modes to pass across the message. So it's not enough to analyze the text alone. So we're going to be analyzing the images, the sound, every other thing that comes together to pass across the message. So the theory we are using, the theoretical framework, the use of multimodal discourse analysis of Press and Van Leeuwen 2006, which is used to analyze communication, text, discourse that has a combination of modes. And these are what we are going to be examining in this research. We are going to see how text, visuals, and audios are combined strategically. We are going to see the role of empathy where one side is emphasized over the other using multimodal discourse analysis. So now let's go to what we have been able to find in our research, the use of empathy in pro-life campaigns online. The first thing we realize is that they talk about the sanctity of life in order to empathize with the unborn child. Like I said earlier, they empathize with the unborn child. And the empathy is for the unborn and the mother. They empathize with the pain the mother will go through after abortion, and they empathize with the child who is going to lose his or her life after the abortion. So there is a call to action, there is an emotional appeal that life should be held in sanctity. Then there is a compassion for the unborn. That is the second thing we deducted from the empathy with the unborn child. There is this compassion. There's a contrast between loss and life. That is the loss of a life and bringing a life to be. Then the unborn child is also personified, so that it can be empathized with, not a thing to be, but a human. And there is this symbolism with color psychology, the use of the color brown, color orange to depict life and to show that this life is not just in existence, it is not just there, but is existing for a particular reason. And don't forget that for pro-life, they base their argument on research, on scientific proofs, on religious basis. So they see the unborn as a gift from God. Then there's a reflection of life, and then encouraging social support that the society should support the child, to support the woman. And so they use the social media for all of this engagement. What of the other side of the polar, the pro-choice? The use of empathy in pro-choice campaigns online. Is it empowerment and choice? I told you that they empathize with the woman. They want the woman to be empowered and given the power to make choice. So the choices of the woman should be respected. I don't want to have this baby, so you don't have to force me to have this baby. And they want it to be easily accessible. Then they give support and representation. If you look at the image there, it is supporting women and trying to represent them across all walks of life. Then there is this social justice that is being passed in their empathy with the women. They pass this social justice like that they see the women folk as the marginalized. So they are standing for them, that there should be a social justice for them. And they are balancing the strength with compassion, that unsafe abortion affects everybody, protects women and girls everywhere from torture. They see it as torture. It's like you're forcing somebody, compelling somebody to against their will or against what they would have chosen. In conclusion, they have been able to justify that empathy is a persuasive tool. The pro-life uses to persuade for the unborn, and the pro-choice is used to persuade for the woman, and is strategically used in advocacy so that it will be as a bridge. When it's a bridge, it makes it easy for the person communicating with the other person who is being empathized with, and it has a very great impact on digital discourse, especially when it's combined with all these other modes. Sound, color, text, and all these visuals. It makes it impacts digital discourse, and it makes it very, very compelling. And this two sides of the polar use it to make sure their message, their advocacy is being pushed. So that is all for this session. Thank you for your time. I will be waiting for your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, and for that presentation. What time is it? Are you in Nigeria? What time is it in Nigeria?
Okay, I'm in Nigeria. It's about 9 minutes to 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. No, it's not too bad. I thought it's in the middle of the night. Not too bad. It's
No.
about one. It's about 1 p.m. here. So, yeah. Thanks for staying with us, and thanks for that wonderful presentation. And just to be able to know also, the kind of research going on in Nigeria as regards what you just presented. So let's have questions from the audience.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I really liked how you showed the advertising differences between pro-life and pro-choice, and how pro-life focuses on the baby, while pro-choice focuses on the mother. Because this isn't something most people often think about. So my question to you is, how effective do you think these advertisements have on the mother's choice? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In Nigeria, currently, I would say that even if the mother has a choice to either keep the baby or not keep the baby, they are still restricted with the law of the country not to have an abortion except to save the baby's life. So um, it's this advocacy now has little or no influence on the choice of the mother with regards to her baby or her body in Nigeria for now. I must say that even most of these pro-choice organizations in Nigeria didn't grant us interviews while we were working on this research. They were saying that it's against their policy because their advocacy is not supported by the law of the country. So this advocacy, this advertisement is not really moving or is not really affecting the mother or a choice. That's what I have to say.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that response, Elizabeth. Anybody else with questions? Yes, Charles.
Yeah, thanks so much for your presentation. I wanted to ask, what recommendation would you make to policymakers or researchers on the basis of, based on conclusion of your finding? What would you recommend?
Okay, I will recommend that. Well, my recommendation mostly is to the policymakers. Many advocates have gone on reviewing the abortion laws of the country, but I will say that policymakers should review the law and let's see how it can help both mother and the child, how it can sustain them, how it can help them. Because I realize that even as much as pro-life are making advocacy to save the child, the life of the child, little other provision is made for the survival of the child. The same goes to the pro-choice who are advocating for the mothers. Most of these women who encounter some